I cut the check, I cut the check, I cut the check. Tell my niggas we up next, so we up next. She shot a text, she shot a text, she shot a text. Kill the I might put the different day, put a nigga on that same shit. I've been ballin' with my niggas, Kevin Cambridge. Oh, you drippy, but you better tuck your chain quick.
What's good, y'all, man? We back with another episode, another podcast, Between the Lines. First off, I want to say subscribe, like and subscribe, please. Like and subscribe and share with your friends so my channel can get bigger and it can reach more people. But other than that, we had a crazy day of basketball yesterday. A really exciting day. I had basketball all in my room. I had it on my laptop, my TV, my phone. It was fun. It was fun. I love watching basketball. And the last game ended at almost 1:30 in the morning. That's crazy. But basically, I'm just gonna go through all the games, say what I like. Yeah, basically that's it. But first game was the Wizards versus 76ers. Really good game. The Wizards showed a lot in this game. They didn't even have Rui Hachimura, and that's a big loss for them. But the Wizards showed a lot in this game. I love that Coach Scott Brooks gave Denny Avdija the starting role over Troy Brown Jr. because I just feel like that's perfect for that team because Troy Brown Jr. can come in on the bench and be that playmaking small forward who can also create for his own, along with Ish Smith and Davis Bertans, who was shooting the lights out the ball yesterday. And then you have Denny in the starting lineup. Let him get his feet wet. He hit a couple threes yesterday. He's a good shooter. He was really good on defense yesterday. And the Wizards, they look really good. They lost, but they look really good. Russell Westbrook still had a couple turnovers. He missed a dunk too. But other than that, he played a really good game. Bradley Beal got his feet wet. He had 27. But at the end, the 76ers came out on top. And it was a big part for Joel Embiid. He just started isoing on Thomas Bryant, that's something that he's always going to go through. Thomas Bryant is a small center. He's like 6'10". So when he plays Jokic, Cat, AD, Kristaps, when he plays those big guys, they're always going to try to iso him and body him because he's there, but he's really not. He's too small, and these dudes are huge, and they'll just back him up, and that's basically what they were doing in the clutch. Other than that, really good game from Shake Milton off the bench. Really good minutes from Tyrese Maxey, too. Him and that Dwight Howard pick and roll was really nice for them. Ben Simmons had his game. I want him to get 20 points. He shot a... Damn, he's speeding. But he shot a jump shot yesterday, and I tweeted. I was like, yo, just keep shooting that. Keep shooting that jump shot. And it was a mid-range. And he missed it, but it wasn't that bad. And I'm like, yo, just keep shooting that. Your form looks good. And it's going to come down. You practicing it. You showing you practicing it on Instagram every year. That's what you post every summer that you practicing your shot. Well, keep shooting it in the regular season. That's what we need. Seth Curry had a little off game, but it's okay. They made up for it. Tobias Harris. After that, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about Tobias Harris. Danny Green had an okay game, but really good game by both teams. Came down to the wire. Yeah, they just let on the last possession. Who shot that last shot? I want to say Ben Simmons. Somebody shot the last shot, and they let them get the offensive rebound, and the Wizards lost after that. But the next game, I'm going to talk about the games that I watched. But next game I watched, Cavs versus Hornets. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because even though I love my Cavs, not a lot of people care about the Cavs. But the Cavs had a really good game against the Hornets. First half, straight defense was amazing for this team. And yeah, it was amazing. Straight defense. Colin Sexton had 18 points in the first half. And he was dominating, basically getting to the paint. He didn't miss a shot in the first half. JaVale McGee came in and was there on defense. Also had a couple sky hooks. Had 13 points in the first half. Drummond did his thing in the first half. And he proved to me that he really can be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I'm not saying he's going to win it, but he really can be that candidate. And yeah, basically the first half, it was all us. We was blowing them out. In the second half, Colin Sexton cooled off a little bit, but then Darius Garland picked it up, and he finished with 22, 6, and 6. And the thing about Colin Sexton's stat that I like, he had 27, yeah, but that 5 assists looked really good. Isaac Okoro had a great game. I like the way he played. I was mad that we didn't get Denny Avdija, but I feel like Isaac Okoro was the best person for us. Now looking at it, and he played really good defense. His shot does not look as bad as people said it was. To me, it doesn't look bad. He's a really good passer. Larry Nance played his ass off, almost had a triple-double. But yeah, in that third and fourth quarter, Terry Rozier gave us buckets, bro. He had 6 in the first half and finished with 42, 44. He finished with 42 points. So he was dogging in the second half. And it was straight threes. And he was not missing. But other than that, they really couldn't find anything else. I mean, Gordon Hayward did have 27, but it was kind of off and on. I think they should just start LaMelo. Devontae is more of a bench point guard. I think they should just start LaMelo. I don't like the way that looks for that team. Hold on, I'm gonna try to fix this. I don't like how they're bringing they're starting Devontae Graham. I feel like LaMelo is a perfect player for that team, and having Devontae Graham off the bench would be real good for them, in my opinion. But other than that, Cody Zeller got hurt. Hope he's okay. He hurt his hand. So did Dylan Willer on a nasty fall. He landed right on his hand. That's nasty. And that's a big piece. We need that. We need Dylan Willer. So hopefully he can come back soon. Hopefully we can get Kevin Love and Kevin Porter Jr. back. I know Kevin Porter Jr. is going through some problems with his personal life. And basically, like, he got pulled over for drugs a couple months ago and gun charges. But the charges were released. But now the Cavs said he's just playing back into his role so they can earn his trust back. Because that is a bad thing. You're not supposed to have drugs. You're not supposed to have... well, you can have guns, but probably not in the car. But he's trying to earn his trust back. So hopefully we can get him in the game soon. I didn't even see him on the bench. So I haven't seen him in a minute. So hopefully he's good. I know he was going through some mental problems too. So hopefully he's good. Kevin Love hurt his neck. And we need Kevin Love. We obviously need Kevin, because they ran the zone on us, and that was a big reason why they came back, because we didn't know how to break the zone because we're so young. But we need Kevin Love back. But other than that, we had a really good game. The next game I watched was the Bucks versus Celtics game. I didn't watch the first half, but I know Jaylen Brown was killing in the first half, and Chris Middleton was killing in the first half. But the third quarter, I got into it. It was a good game at that point, but the Celtics were starting to spread it apart. And the thing that I realized that I love with the Celtics is, I feel like if they want to, the best thing for them to take that next step is let Kemba come back, play a couple games, but trade him while his value is high. Because like a lot of people realized last season, when you let Marcus Smart run the point guard, that team just flows way better. And they can go get a better center with Kemba. So I love this team, how they looked yesterday, and I loved how they started Daniel Tice and Tristan Thompson, because Daniel Tice is not a person that's going to be in the paint like all the time. He can shoot the ball, and he had a couple threes yesterday. And when it comes to defense, you put Daniel Tice and Tristan Thompson on the bench, it's hard for Giannis to score because that's two big bodies down there. So they tried to build the wall, and I loved how they did that. That team has a really good recipe of stopping Giannis. I'm not gonna lie. You could put Marcus Smart, you could put Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, and Daniel Tice, and Tristan Thompson on Giannis, and they'll slow him down a little bit. So I like what they're doing over there with that lineup. Grant Williams came in and did some really good things. Jeff Teague came in and kept them afloat a little bit, and then they were kind of blowing the Bucks out in the fourth quarter, like in the beginning of the fourth quarter, and then Giannis had his MVP moment. He had his MVP. He had the first 10 or 8 points, and then he hit a 3, and then he made them call a timeout. And I was like, okay, Giannis, I like that. He came out, basically played that whole quarter, and then just made it a game. And then they were going back and forth. Jrue Holiday, you are so smooth, bro. Jrue Holiday game is so smooth. That step back on Daniel Tice was nasty. But I love Jrue Holiday, bro. He makes the game just look so effortless. But yeah, that was a really good game. Came down to the last shot. Jayson Tatum had a really good step back three on Giannis with 0.4 seconds left. And bank shot, it was lucky as hell. He would even admit it was lucky. But really good shot. And Bucks had a chance to win it though. Or to tie it up. They did a really good play to Giannis. He got fouled. I don't really think it was a foul, but he got fouled. Hit the first free throw and missed the second free throw. And I know that's hurting him. I know that is. He walked straight to the locker room, bro. And That sucked. That sucked because one, that game was a really good game. I would love to see it go into overtime. But two, I know that's gonna hurt him, and you know, people on Twitter, Instagram, they started trolling, doing what they do. Like the dude didn't have 34 and 12. Some usual shit for him, but it's okay. At this point, I know that they understand that that's the stuff that they gonna get for being the type of stars that they are. But that was a really good game to me. The Pelicans versus the Raptors, another really good game. My boy B.I. almost had a triple-double. Zion went crazy. Lonzo had like 0 points in the first half, came back with 16 points. J.J. Redick basically closed the game for them, a couple threes and an and-one three. Even Eric Bledsoe had a really good game. A lot of people might have been wrong about this team. The spacing doesn't look that much of a problem. Steven Adams does not be in the way like that. Eric Bledsoe is hitting his shots. It is a regular season. Eric Bledsoe is a great regular season player, but when it comes to that playoffs, which this team look like they can actually make a push for the playoffs, I don't know. He's not that person anymore. But this team looked really good. I'm not going to lie. Jackson Hayes looks polished up because the whole thing about Jackson Hayes last season was he's an athlete. He's not a basketball player. Like, you can see it, like, he'll just get the ball and just go up and try to dunk it. And he does that sometimes this time, but you'll see him put the ball on the floor sometimes. So, I like what they're doing with him. And Nickeil Alexander came out the bench, did his thing. Josh Hart, this effort everywhere. Effort. Like I said, he led the team in rebounds last season. That's a shooting guard. So, I love what he brings to the team. Stan Van Gundy got these boys playing really good defense. So, we might have been wrong about this team. Siakam had a really good game. Fred VanVleet had a bad game. He had a bad game. But other than that, the Raptors weren't really in it. First time Kyle Lowry played in a minute, so they'll get back in it. Spurs versus the Grizzlies. Ja had 44. Ja went crazy. He went crazy. I ain't gonna lie, he went crazy. And the thing is, it's not like he went crazy on no bum. He went crazy on the all-defensive player and DeJounte Murray. DeJounte had 21, but that nigga Ja had 44. He had 44. It was crazy. He had 44. DeRozan disproving why he's one of the most underrated players in the league. I feel like people don't look at him like that, like he was a couple years ago. I feel like his game is well polished. He gets to his spots easily. He's a way better basketball player than he was in Toronto, and I love him with this team. Playmaking is there. Derek White had a good game. Devin Vassell came out the bench, had a little bit of impact, but they won this game. They beat the Grizzlies, and yeah, if Ja had a little bit of help, he probably would have won that bit. But really good game for both teams. I didn't watch this game like that. I watched some of it, but really good game for both teams. Hawks versus the Bulls. The Hawks put up 83 in the first half, and the Bulls put up 59. And people said the Bulls is better than the Cavs team. No. Hornets is better than the Cavs team. No, they're not. The thing with the Bulls is, the playmaking is not there. Kobe White can say he's trying to be a better playmaker all he wants, and there's no hate to him, but he's not that. I look at him like I look at Colin Sexton, and Colin Sexton is one of my favorite players in the league. But I know when it comes down to it, when he's in the prime of his career, Colin Sexton is going to thrive as a sixth man. I see that for Kobe White. So I don't think that's the point guard that they needed and that they have. So I don't know. That's why they struggle though. The playmaking is not there. Patrick Williams had a really good game. Lauri Markkanen had a really good game. Along with Zach LaVine, they all had really good games. It was just the defense was trash. Defense trash like normal. Defense was trash, but Trey was having fun. It was like recess out there. Trey was killing them, and yeah, they was just dominating. 83 in the first half is crazy. They either said that was a team record or that was an NFL record, but 83 in the first half, and he only had 37 points. I would have thought Trey had like 50. He only had 37. But another game that was really good. Kings versus Nuggets. This Kings team looking like the old Kings team, the one from 2 years ago when they was almost making the playoffs. You know, they almost made it last year, but they shouldn't even been in the bubble. But 2 years ago, they were a 9th seed, and this Kings team looked the same. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe playing Buddy Hield at the starting shooting guard was the thing to do. Harrison Barnes looks rejuvenated to me. I love what he's doing on the court. The thing I want for them, I want De'Aaron Fox to get his buckets. He had 21, but I want him to be that last 2-minute player where he comes in the clutch for this team. Because he had the ball, he just wasn't making the shots at all. But they won the game. They won it without their starting center and their starting power forward. Bagley and Rashawn Holmes, they both fouled out. Bagley had a decent game, 13-9, but fouls was just idiotic sometimes. Like I said, Harrison Barnes had a really good game. But Buddy Hield was shooting the hell out of the ball. Tyrese Halliburton and Corey Joseph came out the bench and played a really good game, defensive-wise and offensive-wise. And it was a really good game for both teams. The Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr. did his thing. Jokic had a triple-double in the third quarter damn near. The one thing that was missing was Jamal Murray, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I'm not really hype about Jamal Murray doing what he did in the bubble because, like, he never does this in the regular season. But that's not a bad thing. If you show off in the playoffs, that's even better. So I'm not really looking too much into this game he had yesterday. He had 9 points. But he is a playoff player, so I'll give him that. Paul Millsap did good on defense and offense. And Will Barton came back, did what he did, had 16 and 4 assists. So they just lost to a game-winning shot. Jokic, Harrison Barnes is on Jokic. That was a weird part. I was like, Harrison Barnes on Jokic, and he stole the ball from him, and he almost had an and-one dunk. It could have been called a foul. I think the Nuggets wanted it to be called a foul because after he missed the dunk, Buddy Hield came in for the tip, and they won the game. The Kings ran off the court. Buddy Hield did that same thing 2 years ago when they beat the Pistons. They just ran off the court. So, but it was funny. They ran into the tunnel. They ran right into the locker room. But they came into Denver, beat Denver. Really good game. Really, really good game. I thought it was going to go to another overtime. Harrison Barnes, he played a really, really, really good game. And that's never the thing with Harrison Barnes. Like, you never look at him and say he's a bad player at all. It's just that contract. I think he's making like $27 million. Like, that's he not worth that much. I'll give him like 20. I'll give him 18. Because he's not a bad player. He's still young as hell. I think he's like 26, 25. But he's still young. But 27 million, I don't think so. But really good defense. Can shoot the ball. Can create for his own. And he kind of looked at as an old head. Because he's been in the league for like 7-8 years. But he had a really good game yesterday. Like I said, this Kings team looked like 2 years ago Kings team. They playing fast. They're actually playing it to De'Aaron Fox style, where they run with the ball all the time, and they just work smooth. It looks better when they're the fastest team in the league, like they were 2 years ago, instead of when they were the slowest team in the league last year, and they barely made it to the playoffs. But the last game of the night, Mavericks versus the Suns. Another really good game. There's a lot of good games yesterday. And that sucks because there's no games tonight. And there's no football games. There's nothing tonight. So you just hang out with your family, basically. That's what you got to do. And that's not bad. But, damn. Yeah. This game was a really good game. And Chris Paul didn't really have to do that much. He really didn't do that much but do what he was brung here to do, which was make it easier for Devin Booker in the clutch and show why he was worth that trade. But other than that, the Suns just had the bench just played really good. I think Cam Johnson had like 16. Cam Johnson, I understand why he was drafted at number 10 or wherever he was drafted at. I like his game. Cam Johnson had 15, like I said. Cameron Payne also had a really good game off the bench. Was really good playmaking wise off the bench. Had 11 points also. Langston Galloway came in, shot the ball. Jalen Smith came in. Brung the paint defense. Devin Booker had a decent game. Wasn't his best, but like he really didn't need to. Like I said, other players was doing it. Mikal Bridges is a really good player for this team. A person that can guard 1 through 4, can shoot the hell out of the ball. Really good game from him. Really, he was guarding Luka the whole game. Even though Luka had 32, it was hard for him. But really good game for them, and they came out on top 1-4. And I can tell that this Mavericks team misses Porzingis a lot because they really don't have a big man other than Willie Cauley-Stein, but he doesn't play that much. But they miss shooting too. Even they have shooting, but Tim Hardaway really didn't have a good game yesterday, even though he had 12. Dorian Finney-Smith had 11. Josh Richardson didn't have a good game at all. He was kind of getting torched by Devin Booker. Maxi Kleber came in and did some really good things. Maxi Kleber is so underrated. They kept switching him to Devin Booker, and he was clamping Devin Booker up. Not clamping, but he was doing really good on Devin Booker. Like that game-winning shot when he got the offensive rebound. Before that, Maxi Kleber was clamping Devin Booker up. He's really good. He can really guard 1 through 5. Not at some other people's level like Ben Simmons, Bam Adebayo. Well, he's really good at guarding 1 through 5. He's really good at switching. Jalen Brunson came in and dogged. He was dogging in the third and the fourth quarter. He was dogging. I ain't gonna lie, Jalen Brunson was dogging. For them, I just think they're gonna need that consistently from either him or Trey Burke. Because when you got on the bench, you got Jalen Brunson, James Johnson, what do you call these fine? Trey Burke. Makes it Maxi Kleber, but they don't really have a scorer. So one of them is gonna have to step up the game and go crazy on the bench. But Luka had a decent game yesterday. Couldn't shoot at all. Missed a couple free throws. Missed all his threes. But that's the scary part. You missed all your threes, but you still had 32 points. That shit's scary, bro. Like they say with Giannis and Luka, like they can't shoot at all, but they still average 30 points. Like to me, I find that so scary. You average 30 points without shooting the ball. Like what the? That is wild. Because when you start shooting the ball, that's like an extra 4 or 5 points. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. But other than that, we had a really good schedule of basketball yesterday. It was really fun to watch. NBA did their thing with these matchups though. There was other games that I didn't really touch on, like the Pacers versus the Knicks. That was a really good game. RJ had like 20 in the first half. I should have traded for him in my fantasy league because Andrew Wiggins pissed me off the other day. But he had a really good game. DeMontis showed why he's one of the most underrated players in the league. He had 32 and 14. Victor Oladipo looked like Victor Oladipo, and I'm excited for that. That team just looked good. I ain't gonna lie. I seen a lot of people not having them in the playoffs. I don't understand why. But then it was another good game. Heat versus the Magic. Magic won that game. That was surprising to me, but that was a good game. I watched the highlights. Really good game for them. But other than that, that's it, man. I'm gonna come back on Saturday with the Christmas games. Hopefully these games are fun. Heat versus the Pelicans. That's the game that I'm really looking forward to. That matchup. Hopefully it's in Miami, but doesn't really matter. I want to see Jimmy Butler not Zion. On Brandon Ingram. I want to see that matchup, but that's gonna be a really good game. They got some other games on that day that I really can't think about. I think Warriors versus Bucks, Celtics versus the Nets, and Lakers versus the Mavericks, and then Clippers versus the Nuggets. Yeah, I got it right. So we got some really good games to go over on Saturday, but other than that, I'll talk to you guys on Saturday.